My God, I've done it right. The 3 unholiest men in Ireland are in the right place. You got the man to the right of me, Mr. Angel Gabriel. Oh, I've got a bone pick you. You broke one of my tablets, by the way, and God won't give me a refund. And on the other side is Mr. Yeltsin with his bottle of vodka in the tank. You're the Russian Federation were on to you earlier. What update did you give them?
No, I said I couldn't talk. I said I had to go and have a look at the results of next week's election.
And what was the outcome?
Oh, Putin wins.
Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you very much for watching. See you next week. But welcome to the THFC Till I Die, the Unholy Trinity podcast, the only podcast in town where you've got 3 men who are the most unholiest in the world, who don't care about religion, who don't even go to church. That is what this podcast is all around. Joining us tonight, of course, is the man from Kildare. He thinks he is the king of Kildare. He isn't really, because we're about to take it over. Wrexham. Me and Dave, me and Philip are ready to roll the tractors and the donkeys and the pitchforks ready in to invade Kildare. And Dave's sitting there with his little shovel and fork saying, "And you fucking hell not taking me over." But how are you tonight, Dave?
Yeah, look, I'm good, Dermo. You know, I am King of Kildare. I'm the most famous person in Kildare, that's for sure. But yeah, good to be here. I enjoyed last week's episode. Hopefully this week's as good as well.
It is. And of course, he's my usual co-host. He is my... people compare this to the 2 Ronnies. So I don't know which Ronnie are you, but I'm definitely not Ronnie Barker. So anyway, you are him. Hello, Philip. How are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm grand. Yeah. I'm, let's say, 70 to 60 hours to go before the Spurs game. I'm getting twitchy over this Spurs game on Sunday, but we'll see how we get on, you know.
So if you disappear during the stream, we know where you're going.
Yeah, that's it. I've gone to, you know, I've stopped the shake in my hands, you know.
Yeah. See, it's all the vodka you're drinking.
Oh, that's it.
Before we came on, right, he was drinking so much vodka, me and Dave were worried about him. We thought he was going to... He's being propped up at the moment. The missus got him propped up with pillows and everything, so he doesn't fall sideways. He's going to kill me later, I swear to God. There will be a drone on my house somewhere along the line.
It's on its way. It's on its way.
Is it really? Yeah, where's it come from?
That'll be telling, you know.
All right, so I've got about an hour and a half then to get out of the house.
Yeah. It's coming from a northwesterly direction.
Have you checked the wind?
Yeah, well, if the wind gets up any stronger, it might land on Dave's house instead. Anyway, enough with this hilarity.
Enough with this. No, we had it earlier. Me and Philip actually talked everything bar football for about 37 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know how we got away with it. But listen, with Villa coming up, I'll start with you, Dave, in this. With Villa coming up, are you scared? Are you excited? Are you worried? Are you nervous? It is the biggest game since the Arsenal game that we had under Conte. So are you feeling it a bit nervous?
Look, no doubts about it. It's our biggest game of the season, but I don't think we should be nervous. It's not time to get nervous. It's time to get excited. This is what we live for as Spurs fans. You know, we want the big games to come around. For me, look, Villa are beatable. I know they beat us earlier on the season, but we played them off the park. It was 2 late goals with a makeshift back 4 that ended up being our undoing that day. You know, but. Look, I don't think Villa are too much to be scared about whatsoever. Don't get me wrong; it's going to be a physical game. You know, I have my concerns. Will Spurs stand up to that? I think they should. I think they've got a different mentality than in years gone by. Because in years gone by, Aston Villa, all they had to do was rough us up. You know, and Tottenham didn't have the answer to that. That was a known tactic when it came to Tottenham. I'm hoping this time it's a little bit different. I get there's a lot around it. You know, I think Matty Cash, he took out Doherty a couple of years ago. He also took out Bentancur. And I know a lot of people want retribution. I get it. Maybe later on in the game, if we're 3-4-1 up, you know, go and get retribution. But for me, this is time. Cool heads need to prevail. Business end of the season. It's all right, you know, taking one for the team and getting sent off earlier on in the season. You've got time to recover. We're now at the business end of the season. We don't have time to recover. If Aston Villa beat us, they go 8 points clear. I get we've got a game in hand, but it practically puts us out of the race for Champions League altogether with some of the games that we've got coming up later on in April. So for me, it's a must-win really for either side. I think Villa will look to go and win it to try and cement top 4. But also, you know, we have to go and win it. So I think it'll be a cracking game of football. may the best team win. I think that will be Tottenham on the day.
Yeah, so did I. Will the support be so vital up there at Villa Park? How vital is that?
The support, our away support is second to none every game, regardless where we go. I mean, they're unbelievable fans that go on the road trips. It's going to be very important because remember last season Villa beat us 2-1, and that was one of the games that took us out of Europe. But remember the season before that, we beat them 4-0. Do you remember?
Yeah.
With the hat trick. Sonny got the hat trick.
Yeah.
So we've got Villa aren't invincible at home. They've lost a few games at home this season, right? They'll be looking. I think they'll be more nervous than us at this game because they win. They know to go 8 points clear, as Dave said. But if they lose, we're breathing down their neck with a game in hand. In fact, if we win the game in hand, we're a point ahead of them. So I think Villa will be nervous. They're after playing a hard enough game tonight in Amsterdam against Ajax. They only finished there about 7:30. So they've got a short recovery period, whereas we have the whole week off. So that might be to our advantage in the later stage of the match on Sunday. But yeah, like I said, I was nervous and I was twitchy about it. I'm always twitchy about away matches. And I know Villa Park can be, an intimidating place to go. But I honestly think the way the spirit that we show late in the latter halves of games, nearly every game, I think we'll have enough to win on Sunday. Put it like this, I don't think we'll lose anyway.
No. It's a never say die attitude, isn't it? We've got this never say die, which we had on the Poch. We lost it on the Conte. We lost it on the Mourinho. We lost it under the Garden Gnome. Well, mind you, he was useless anyway, so I won't talk about him. But we've got this never say die attitude. And I look at this Villa game. I know our game in hand is against Chelsea. Should we not? We shouldn't worry about Chelsea, should we? Look at what Chelsea are. And
nobody else is worrying about them.
No, but isn't it a thing that Tottenham, when it comes up against Chelsea think this is a big game. We've got to go in there and say, this doesn't mean anything to us. Go in there without that fear factor that we can turn them over at Stamford Bridge, which we haven't done over the years, though, Dave, have we? And we've struggled there.
A few years since we did it.
Yeah, look, history usually, sort of, whether it plays a part or not, it tends to does in these games, It's sort of, I don't know what it is. It sort of weighs on Tottenham. It doesn't matter what team we've had going down there down the years. Usually we rock up there and we don't come away with a result. So history does play its part, but should we go in there and scared or intimidated or worried like we should have in years gone by? No. I don't think Chelsea have as many threats as they did in years gone by. Look, we were about to absolutely punt them at our stadium, only for that sending off, which I still have my doubts about. I still don't believe it was a sending off, which ruined the game and sort of changed the course and altered the course that Tottenham were on. And yes, it had an impact for a while after that. It didn't help with Doji sending off. Let's not forget, Chelsea struggled to break us down. It was a sort of a spell really near the end of the game where they went and scored a couple of goals, 2 or 3 goals they scored near the end of the game. Yeah, but, right on near 80 minutes. So I remember us going forward. I think Sonny had an opportunity, we could have went on to snatch a point out of that game. So, if we put in that performance against them with 9 men, what are we going to do at their place? Don't get me wrong, it's easier to perform at home than it is away. But the thing is, we've got nothing to be scared of this time. Go straight in there and walk back out with the 3 points.
I remember that in the last game there. It was 2-1 to Chelsea. Eric Dyer had a goal disallowed when he's fractionally offside. That would have made it 2 each with 9 men on the pitch. I reckon we would have won the match if that goal had been allowed.
Yeah.
But that kind of deflated us, and they got the 2 late goals after that. So we don't need to be scared of Chelsea. Chelsea under Pochettino are not a team to be feared.
Yeah.
No. I don't think so either. And I think it's a game we can win. Is Porro playing, Dave? I think he is, isn't he?
Look, Ange Postecoglou said last week's pre-match press conference that he was about a week away. Now, there were various media outlets that put out reports today saying he wasn't in training. Now, today's training is usually a day where the media are allowed to sort of observe and stuff like that. Whether it's intentional by Ange Postecoglou and playing mind games, I'm not quite so sure. We'll know tomorrow when that video comes out. That usually does, with the injury updates. So as far as I'm aware, Porro didn't train today or wasn't seen around outside anyway. Now, that doesn't mean he wasn't inside working on recovery to get back, but he wasn't out on the football pitch. Neither was Richarlison. So I guess we'll just have to wait and find out till tomorrow.
How vital would that be a miss, Philip? That would be a big miss for us if Porro isn't playing, isn't it? I think it would be personally.
Well,
But
I mean,
Emerson did all right in the
he
Crystal
did.
Palace.
We did okay. He didn't. He certainly didn't do himself any harm. And in fact, he was involved in the equalising goal with a little overhead flick down the line that Brennan Johnson took on. So yeah, like okay, we'd like to have Porro back because Porro can scare the living daylights out of his opponent going down the wing there. So hopefully he will be back. Richarlison, I think, told the Brazilian FA he was going to be fit, but I think that was more to get himself picked for the Brazilian national team than anything else. So I don't think he'll be ready. And
Sorry, Philip. Go on.
No, go on.
No, just say big up to Stephen Cartwright. Evening, lads. Does anyone know who the referee is? I will find out tomorrow when our members video goes out. I'll have all the details: the referee, the linesman, the VAR man, the tea lady, the kit man, everything for you. So watch out for that.
Michael Oliver. I hope it's not Michael Oliver.
If it is Philip, I know Philip will be doing cartwheels. And then Angelo, big up Angelo. He says, interesting match in pre-season Spurs when they play Celtic. Well, that's going to be a good one.
Right, okay. Yeah.
There you go. Nice little trip back home for Ange Postecoglou. And so big up to people. I don't know where everyone is. They know this is the best podcast around and nobody's in yet. So what are you doing? Get off your phones, get off your laptops, drop your dinner. Tell the missus you're going away for an hour and 10 minutes and come and join the best podcast in town. Because Dave is giving up his Big Brother experience for this. Philip's given up the bank's night of festivities where he was in Leitrim. And Mrs. Trons just said to me, go into the corner and do something. So I'm here streaming. So do know to me. Look, Dave, look, you can see the flames coming out of Dave's nose. He ain't happy. Angel Gabriel is not happy. Anyway, and he says, lots of love, boys. Boyos, yeah. Up the Celt. We are
by the way,
Celtic fans, by the way.
Rangers are 2-1 up at Benfica at the moment. So that's
right, we'll get ready for him for a little while now. I've had enough about Rangers.
I just swore, did I? I just swore.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Now, guys, Tottenham. Now, Dave, you had a big debate in this on your channel, and I would recommend everyone go over and watch that after you've finished here. It was a great show with Ben from We Are Tottenham TV and Sean from Spur. What's his name for his YouTube channel now?
Who, Sean's?
Yeah.
Spurs Talk Show, and then he has another one where he does sort of all football. It's called Sean Butler TV or something like that. Yeah, Sean Butler TV.
Well, you will find Sean Butler across any YouTube. He is now becoming like Rupert Murdoch, as big as him. Sean, if you're watching, I'm only joking. Please don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, please go over to Spurs Talk Show and Sean Butler TV as well. Both great, two great channels and a great man himself. Now, I'm fuming over this. I am absolutely fuming. 6% increase on season tickets from next season. Now, Spurs did freeze it from last season, so it was coming down the pipeline. Everyone was expecting this. But I'm now being priced out in a way to go to games from next season. It's hard enough, me and Dave and Philip coming from Ireland, to go to games this season. Me and Dave are going to the Arsenal game, which is costing us a bit of money, around €300, if you're classing everything together. Philip is going over. He's been over twice this year, haven't you, Philip?
No, this is my second time over.
Yeah. So you've been twice. This is my second time over. We won't be able to afford to go next season. So I'm going to start with you, Philip. Then I go to Dave. Are Tottenham pricing out the genuine fan? Are Tottenham now with this?
I think we just need to do a bit of demarcation here. Spurs have put up the season tickets, right? They haven't put up the ordinary match-by-match tickets. They were increased last season. They haven't gone up this season yet anyway, right? So just to clarify that. So I think the overpricing for people like us started last season. We don't have season tickets because we can't get over to every match. So it's going to affect people living in the Tottenham area or England generally. Now, I have every sympathy for everybody wanting to pay an extra 60 or 70 quid on top of their present price, whatever the price is, right? I'm assuming it's around £1,000 for tickets, for season ticket. So that's an extra 60 quid they have to pay.
I think it's 850 odd now.
Well, there you go. It'll be another 50 quid then, 50 or 60 quid.
That's the lowest one.
Right. Now, the thing about it is, right, as I said earlier before we started the show, you go into your supermarket, right, and you buy a tin of Heinz baked beans, right? It was 48p 3 weeks ago. It's now 54p. That's a 10% increase, right? You go up to the cash desk and you pay it. You're not really concerned about it. Spurs didn't increase the season ticket last season. The cost of running that ground has got to be really, really high with the electricity costs, the running costs, the stewards, everything. So I would say they've sat down and said, listen, lads, what it's costing us 5 or 6%, 10% more to run the ground and run the club than it did last season. So reluctantly, we have to put up the price. It's the same as a lot of things. Landlords putting up rent, various things. It's in the same bracket as that. It's to do with inflation. It's to do with supply and demand, because every game we have is sold out. It'd be different if we were only half filling the stadium. They wouldn't put up the price then. But they know they're going to sell them. So that's why they've done it. It's not fair, but it's just, unfortunately, it's the way we are. Not just football games, everything is going up in price at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, look, I've got this sort of conclusion, right, that there's going to be a lot of people going to complain about this. You know what I'm talking about. And so does Philip with the Levy out movement and anti-Levy this, and whatever Levy does is never going to keep everyone happy. But surely to God, if you want to make if you want to make a mark, and you're angry about it, it's not to buy your season ticket. But there's people complaining and still paying money to the club. It can't be a halfway house. So you're either in one or the other. So where are you on that, Dave? I'm not asking you where you're on it, but is it fair?
Look, first of all, it's not my fight to fight, right? I don't own a season ticket, so it's not really my fight to fight. However, look, to be fair, it's not just Levy out. You know, there's many fans, you know, that have families, you know, older people that have maybe their circumstances have changed, that are being priced out of the game. You know, so it's not just one section of the fan base that are unhappy with this. But look, when it comes to the price hike, I can understand it if you're putting your shoes in there. If you're putting yourself in the shoes of a businessman, right? Businessman, their whole aim is to make money. If there's a price of costs and stuff go up, you take the hit. They're never going to take the hit. That's the way business works, you know. But look, personally, I don't agree with it. The reason why they can do it is because no matter how many fans complain, and look, it's everyone that's complaining. Like I said, it's not just one sector. It's absolutely everybody. Reality is they're still going to pay it. I'm not happy with the price of the ticket for North London Derby.
Oh, I'm
still going to pay it.
Yeah,
you know, and look, you know, making it more expensive to get to the games for someone like me. Look, Daniel Levy can't do anything about the prices of flights going up, or the prices of my buses over here going up, or the buses when I get there to get to the stadium going up. That ain't on Daniel Levy. But the price in the increase in the price in the ticket does not help. Where I have a problem is, I think it's complete corporate greed. I think football should be different too. You know, they're well able to hold players and fans and everything to morals. Well, okay, where's the business people's set of morals then? Yeah. At the end of the day, they know people are struggling. Homelessness is increasing right across the world. Shows how inflation has skyrocketed. The club did not need to put the extra cost on the fans this time. They have more diverse revenue streams than any other club across the world. Name me another club where you can go and abseil down the side of the stadium, go and be Lewis Hamilton underneath it, and all the different bars and restaurants and everything else that we've got there. Plus what else is to come, right? There isn't. You know, so for me, I don't think that cost needed to be put onto the fans personally. That's just the way. That's just my point of view on that. I know many people who disagree. And like I said, from a businessman's point of view, he's always going to make us, the customer, pay. That's what it is. But
you're right. You're right in that, Dave. You're spot on that. I think you're right in that. Everything you're saying, you're right.
But like I said, I don't agree with it. I do think, you know, for me, what's the cost of Daniel Levy? Let's not forget, the fans are already on this guy's case. They have been for quite some time. With him trying to rebuild his image with the fans, or his connection with the fans at the start of the season, the Q&As with Ange Postecoglou and stuff like that, he capitalized on when we were on that 10-game run to try and do a bit more with the fans, bringing in the fan advisory board and stuff like that. For the small increase that he's going to make off it in order to pay stadium costs and running costs and all that sort of stuff, what's the longer term damage to his reputation? It's going to be far more costly, in my opinion. I thought the guy should have read the room on this one. And personally, what happened to the good old days where the football clubs, you know, used to help fans and stuff like that, taking away the senior citizens sort of concessions, I do not agree with. And I'll
I don't
never
agree
agree
with
with
that.
it. These are guys
No.
that supported this club before Daniel Levy bought it. These are guys that supported and paid their way at this football club when the club was reliant on gate receipts. You know, for me, in order to taking their concessions away, I do not agree with it. I understand the argument that, you know, it's getting bigger every single time, you know, and stuff like that. And eventually, like I think Sean was saying on my show earlier on, that eventually, you know, that cost is going to be fronted by the season ticket holders. You know, the club ain't going to front it, right? It's going to be, you know, put somewhere else, and it'll end up on the season ticket holders. I get that. But whatever happened to the days of respect for your elderly? And brutally honest, whatever happened to respect? You know, the people who paved the way for the country that you live in, the people that paved the way for the club that you support, that helped get it to the point where it is now. Unfortunately, we live in a time where they don't give a shit about the elderly, and it's disgusting.
It is. And look, I agree with you in that. And I can't, there's no anti-argument to what you said, Dave. And Philip would be the same. There is no anti-argument to that, because I feel if you look at the cost of living's going up, you're right about the homelessness. People are struggling to pay the electricity bills. People are struggling to pay the food bills. Children now growing up need shoes to go to school. It's not getting cheap. Governments are cutting back on social welfare payments as well, if you're on there. Governments are putting more taxes on the working class people as well. So when you work, the government take more money off your wages every week. Food's going up, petrol's going up. So you going to football is your only thing once a week where you can go and enjoy yourself. Take yourself away from the world's troubles for an hour and a half, meet up with your mates and enjoy yourself. The 6% increase on season tickets is not right. And it should never have been put in place in the first place. It's because Daniel Levy, as you said, didn't read the room right. I agree with everything you said as well, Dave. But also, I think it's the price of football now these days. Football isn't a working man's game anymore. Football is a business. So people will run football clubs as a business. It's not a sport anymore. It's a business where you make money off it. You want to get into the Champions League because you earn more money out of it. You want to win that competition. You earn more money out of it. The Premier League wants Sky to give them more money for the TV rights, over 300 billion. This TV rights cycle, the one coming up, where in 92-93, 2.1 million. So you can tell from 92-93 to now how much football has involved money-wise. Clubs are getting richer, and they're forgetting the people who put them there in the first place. It was us, the fans. If we don't turn up, there's no football club. But they proved that wrong, because in COVID...
But the thing is, Dermo, everyone's going to pay it regardless, you know. Look, a lot of people would say, look, if you can't afford it, don't go, you know. You know, you've got other priorities, which I understand, but it's not as easy as that, right? It's not like, you know, if you're going to supermarkets or shopping around for electric, right, you can shop around for the cheapest rate. You can't do that with your football club. No. So you're going to pay what it is anyway, regardless of what they do. We can sit here and moan about and everything else, but people are going to pay. You know, it's too hard for people to take a stand or, you know, give up their season ticket and, you know, go and protest for a season. Because the reality is, there's people already waiting. There's got a waiting list of, you know what, 60 to 70,000 people, you know, waiting for season tickets and stuff like that. So, you know, and you're never going to get, you know, fans to boycott mass, you know, and stuff like that. So they're just going to keep exploiting you.
Yeah. I mean, Philip, look, you're the wisest one out of the three of us. You've seen it all before. I mean, football for you must not be the same as it was when you were a kid.
Well,
you must see a completely different game now to what it was back in the day.
I do. Please don't construe this as being supporting what Levy's done, right? But I've got to be realistic about this, right? Do people expect to get the season ticket now at the same price they paid 20 years ago? No. There's been increases steadily along the years to keep up with inflation, to keep up with everything else. And this, to me, is just another example of that. Businesses are run to make money. They're not run to lose money. So if the accountants have done the figures out, right, and they found if we don't put up the price of season tickets, we're going to go into the danger zone in FFP, or we're going to end up making a loss for the season. And this is probably where this has all come from, you know? So I think I'd like to know, over the last 10 years, what was the price of a season ticket in 2015 or 14, and what is it now? And see what the increase has been over those 10 years. because this 6% increase was put off last year. This could have easily come in last year, but didn't. The ordinary ticket holders paid the price last year, and I don't think there was as big an outcry about it as there is about this. You know,
There was, Philip. There was a massive.
well, maybe there was.
outcry
I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, but all I'm saying is I'm looking at this from a purely business point of view, right? Companies are there to make money. They're not there to lose money. And this thing, if they're going to lose money by not putting up the season ticket increase, I can understand it. We don't want to become another Nottingham Forest or Everton, you know, and be in a loss-making situation. Like, I'm not agreeing with it, but I'm just being practical. This is why they've done it.
But was the whole idea of people not paying for Spurs play, the memberships to be able to get onto, you know, buy tickets, the go-kart and the abseiling and all the other stuff, you know, was that not to, you know, help not put the price on the fans in the first place by bringing all these diverse revenue streams in? Well, I find it ironic personally that the owners want to run the club self-sustainable and don't want to put their hands in their own pockets, but yet they're willing to ask fans to put their hands into the pockets. So I think it's hypocrisy at its finest.
We don't know how successful the likes of Spurs play have been. We don't know how successful the go-karting is. I mean, it'll take an awful lot of bums on seats in the go-kart to get back the cost of setting it up.
That's quite successful, Philip. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I know that, but it still takes a few years to get your money back. And I don't think, you know, again, don't get me, I'm not being apologist for that.
But these aren't adventures the Spurs fans ask for, right? So if stuff like that, you know, to try and gain money and stuff is being put on top of the fans, well, then why should they, you know, it'll all be calculated into the increased price in the season ticket. You know, some of that, some of the cost of building that and stuff like that, the club ain't going to take the hit on it. So that would have been factored in to the season ticket prices. But fans didn't ask for the go-kart track.
No, but you see, I don't know how much it cost to set up that go-kart. I'm sure they got sponsorship from Formula One or whatever they did, you know. But, you know, how much, again, another thing, how much do they charge for a go on the go-karts? People are probably thinking, Christ, that's too expensive. I'm not paying that. You know,
there was a video done on that. I'm actually going to put up on the channel. That go-kart was done through Formula One. So Formula One.
I know they got some sponsorship. They got some sponsorship. I know. No, I just, to be honest, I think the most hurtful part of this whole thing is the fact that they're not now allowing any new concession season tickets. Because as Dave rightly said, the people at the upper end of the age scale, the ones that have supported the club down the years through thick and thin, they're the ones who are now being penalised. Like, you've got maybe, you know, the guys that turn up in the corporate box every Saturday, they can afford it. But someone's on a pension is going to find it difficult to pay the full price for a season ticket. And that's what I think is the most hurtful part of this. And I think Arsenal have done the same thing as well. Arsenal have done the same thing. So for once in their life, Spurs and Arsenal have got together, done the same thing, and they're both wrong.
Yeah. I'm just looking up here at the prices of the go-kart. There's like three different. They actually don't put the prices on the website, which is a bit fucking ridiculous.
But did you read somewhere today, though?
Here we go.
Sorry,
for rookie rate, here we go. Level beginner, rookie race is £35 from €35 or £35. Yeah. Mixed grid, £55. Sprint session, which is level advanced, £70. And elite session, a level advanced elite from £85.
What one are you doing,
I'll do the sprint session because I'm quite good. I know you do the same. Yeah. So
that's more than a match ticket. That's more than a match ticket.
No, actually, we're paying 87 for our actually Arsenal tickets.
Well, fair enough. You're talking 85 sterling is €100. So you know.
But anyway, say for the €85 for the late session, right? You get a track, super track, which is the big track on there. Kart type adult, Grand Prix race format, 15 minutes practice qualifying, 15 minutes rate. Grid start from the race with F1 starting lights. Received in instant lap times and podium presentation for the top three for €85.
To be fair, the one up in Thales is probably more expensive. So
yeah,
no,
I've seen
the
video to that. It's good. I must admit, it's worth the money.
But look, when it comes to the season tickets, look, whether we like it or not, you know, unless everyone gets together, you know, wants to boycott and stuff like that, and I'm talking about the vast majority, the club are going to keep doing this. So it is. Look, I don't like it. You don't like it. Everyone's going to moan about it. But at the end of the day, we're all going to pay about it. You know, it's exploiting. Like it is what it is.
But we're going to be priced out for going over the games, and that's the thing, and that's the thing that annoys me. We're going to be priced out because we're not going to be able to afford to go. And where do they draw the line? I mean, Ben said it earlier, and I agree with Ben when he said football is a tribal sport. It is a tribal sport, and I totally agree with that. But he's also right, there's more tourism fans going over. So do they class us as tourist fans? We probably are. Because we don't go to every game. No, seriously.
If we had a Korean, we get reduction if we have a Korean flag with us.
No, but Mr. Brady. But no.
Sorry,
but
I'm in the dark here. I got evicted. I'm out in the.
Yeah, but do you get what I'm getting at? Are we being classed as tourist fans? So are we in that bracket, Dave?
I don't know.
I don't like to call myself a tourist fan. I've been a lifelong Tottenham fan. You know, it's not my fault where I live and stuff like that. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm just as loyal and as dedicated as other people are. You know, it's not my fault geography gets in the way. Yeah. So I'm not going to call myself a tourist fan. I'm a Tottenham fan. That's it. At the end of the day, I was happy and always will be.
Yeah, tourist fans are the guys that come over on a 2-week trip to London from Korea. They're tourist fans. We're not. We're fans.
No. Right. Season ticket behind the goal in the middle of the stand range. These are season ticket prices, actually. Prices for the adults vary in South Stand from £875 to £2,200 for the 80-82 season ticket plus package. And then it goes on. Now, this new concessions, I don't agree with. Do you think Tottenham should drop that part of it?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. If they're not going to drop the 6% for the go public, drop it for the senior citizens anyway. Make a gesture to the senior citizens.
Yeah.
The only gesture they're giving at the moment is 2 fingers to them. That's it.
And Dave's right. They're the ones that have seen Tottenham over the years.
They're the ones that queued up on the rain when there's no such thing as an all-ticket match. You queued up for 3 hours in the rain to get into the Champions League or the European Cup back in 62 or 63, you know, whenever that was. No, they're the ones that are being shafted. They're the ones that can't afford this increase, and they're the ones that should be looked after.
And at that time, the money mattered. The gate receipts mattered.
Of course it did. Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't matter now. Of course, every bit of money the club takes in matters and is accounted for. But, you know, the club ain't as solely reliant on it as they once were.
But the other thing is, it doesn't matter how many people protest, how many people give up their season ticket. As you said earlier, Dave, there's 60,000 people waiting behind just to buy it up. So Spurs are not going to lose out over this, no matter what way they work it.
I just feel it's an own goal by Levy. I really do feel this is a massive own goal.
But at the end of the day, he ain't here to make friends either, though, Dermo. You know, when he walks away all said and done and takes his couple of billion away from his share and stuff like that, he ain't going to sit there and, you know, care what the Spurs fan base said about him and stuff like that. He's going to be on his yacht. You know, probably Joe Lewis's like, he'll probably buy that off him. So, you know, at the end of the day, he just doesn't care. He really doesn't care.
I mean, we've seen a few owners over the years, guys. We've gone from Scholar to Sugar to Levy, even to the Richards family who owned it before. Philip, I'll start with you and then I'll go to you today. But we've seen owners over the years at Tottenham. Where do you think ownership has changed over the years, and where do you think owners have forgotten what it is, what they've bought? They're looking at it as a business instead of as a football club, which it is, a football club.
The owners, the Richardsons and the Wales who owned it in the 60s and early 70s, right, were probably tighter than Daniel Levy, from my memory. I remember, I don't know if anyone's ever read the book The Glory Game by Hunter Davis. He was allowed to follow the Spurs team in the 71-72 season, the year we won the UEFA Cup and won against Wolves, right? He was given unlimited access, and the way he got it was, he asked Stanley, Mr. Richardson, the chairman, whether he could follow the team around. And he says, well, if Bill Nicholson says it's all right, he will. Our Bill's already said it's all right. Bill didn't say any such thing, but he was stuck with it. The man pulled the flanker and got away with it. But he said during that season, in the showers at Tottenham, the Spurs players had to bring in their own soap and shampoo. So that's how tight things were back in the day, right? And I think it changed a little bit when Scholar came along. But then again, he got involved in stuff he should never have got involved in, like fashion and computers and stuff, and nearly put us to the wall back in '91. Alan Sugar came along, and they everything looked rosy when he got involved with Terry Venables. Then they fell out. It went to court, and it got very nasty. And then the rest is history. Daniel Levy comes along with Enoch, and we're still there. So I think we've moved on in certain ways. We're very progressive in some ways. We're still back in the last century when it comes to things like putting up the season ticket holder for pensioners and whatever. But I think all in all, we're better off. The ownerships now are more progressive and more forward-thinking than the Richardsons, who are probably only up to take money out for themselves, because it wasn't a limited company at that stage. It was just a private ownership, and they were taking out whatever they could.
I would say they're more greedy now than what they were before. And what I say about that is, I think before, people who owned your football clubs were local businessmen or supporters of the football club who didn't have billions of pounds. Nowadays, you're owned by hedge funds, consortiums, who have no attachment to the football club whatsoever, or who care about the success. All they care about is the balance sheet and see that they can exploit football for money, and that's where it's gone. The owners are more ruthless now than ever before. They're selling off nearly every asset at a club, through documentaries and seeing more inside. They're making more money off football clubs than what owners did in years gone by. Before, everything was private, wanted to keep cameras out and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, money talks. You pay someone enough money, they'll open the doors, and that's it. Football is just a reflection of society now, whereas before it was a little bit different.
Yeah, and also you look at Blackburn back in the day, Jack Walker, one of them last, I think, owners that would come in and spend money on a football club because he wanted it. He was a fan of Blackburn. He was a local Blackburn lad. Done good. Wanted to bring it. So he was probably one of the last big owners to come in and buy your way to the title. If you
as opposed to the Glazers that come in and just did the opposite, you just milked it for everything they could get.
I think Dave made a valid point earlier, and I think it's worth saying. Football is linked to society. We're looking with all the trouble the world in at the moment with the economics and the crises and living crisis. We've got everything going up. It's linked. People need to remember football and society is linked hand in hand. When we had all the trouble back in the day, it's because of all the recessions that was around. Young men had nothing to do. It was an outlet for them. So football and society is linked hand in hand. So, Dave, I'll start with you on this. Should football owners, I'm not talking about Levy, I'm talking about all football owners, should they be looking at society and thinking, hang on a minute, we need to look after our fans here a little bit. They're the ones that vote with their feet. They're the ones that pay the money in. Or are we being taken as mugs?
I mean, look, there's enough money in the world. They could all turn around and try and help fans out a little bit more and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they don't want to. They care about their pockets and their families, and that's it. We don't live in a world now where everyone helps each other and stuff like that. We live in a world now where everyone's climbing over each other. And that's it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, Daniel Levy, he doesn't care what my electricity bill is or anything like that. He ain't going to say, oh, there's 50 quid off, go and pay it off your electric. He doesn't give a shit. He wants whatever I have outside of my bills to go into his pocket. That's why he is where he is. That's where I am where I am. Complete different outlooks.
It is. We need to go and rob his house. No, we're not really. We're not going to do that. No, we can't do that. Go on Nicky's go-kart tractor. Stick that in Kildare somewhere. What do you reckon? We'll have Dave selling these dodgy cars for the go-karts to him. 3 for a tenner. Carla says, money is so tight, I'm complaining selling my wife and kids. Jesus, Carl, things are tight. Things are tight. Right. Let's move on from this money talk because I feel everyone said what I wanted to say in it. And I feel you could go around in circles with the conversation a little bit. Now, guys, I'm being a bit controversial here. Can you call top 4 a successful season? And I'm saying no, it's not a successful season. It's an improvement of what you done last season. I feel getting to the Champions League is not a trophy. You don't get a bus parade with top 4. You go into another competition, and that's the end of it. You don't get medals for reaching top 4. So top 4 is not a successful season. Top 4 is an improvement where you were the following season. So that's my view on it. I don't know who wants to go first, but what's your opinion on it?
Dermot.
Yeah.
It's a year and a day. Right, exactly. That we sat in the South Stand at the end of the AC Milan game. Literally wondering, will we go and start supporting Arsenal? It nearly got that bad. Right?
No, can I quote you there? You said that I said I wanted to go and support Accrington Stanley. Let's get this right. You're the one who said you wanted to go and support Arsenal. So
no,
me.
I
Don't
didn't.
drag
No,
me
I
into
didn't. I
that.
didn't say Arsenal.
Don't drag me into that.
I'm only using it as a kind of a comparison tonight, right?
Now, the team. Jesus.
To say that top 4 is not a successful season means whenever we got into the top 4 in 2010 under Harry Redknapp, was that not a successful season?
No.
When we got into the Champions League under Pochettino, was that not a successful season?
No.
Right? We came from 8th position last season, right? We're now sitting on the fringes of the top 4, right? If we get the top 4, I think it certainly is a successful season. Any team that gets into the top 4 has had a good season, and especially where we came from last season, I think it's a bloody good season. I thought the most I thought we'd get this season was maybe 5th or 6th. We may still get that. But if we get Champions League, I have to say, yes, it's a successful season. It's not a trophy, but it's a means to an end to get a trophy. You know where I'm coming from?
No. Using Michael Collins skims there from the film.
I'll set Michael Collins' boys on you now if you keep coming out with crap like that.
Yeah, don't worry. I've got the apostles in don't worry, I've got my own 12
They start lobbing strawberries at you.
Yeah.
Special,
special strawberries to make you see funny things in here. Anyway, Dave, do you agree with me or do you agree with the Latchco, that side of me?
Look, personally, I think that the term success has sort of been diluted a lot over the years. You know, when I was growing up, success was achieving. You know, and nowadays, you know, it's about partaking and stuff like that. Look, for me, I think Philip's right. I think you've got to look on it. You know, where we were last season. You know, we were a club going backwards. We didn't know who the manager was going to be. You know, we thought this season would be even harder. We lost our star striker. You know, and Ange Postecoglou has dealt with adversity better than what other managers have done. And I think when you match your expectations to the start of the season to where we currently are now, or if we finish in top 4, bet your bottom dollar there's not one Spurs fan out there that said we would have finished top 4 this season. Not one. And if they try and lay claim to that, I was going to say they're a liar, but you're delusional enough to predict that, I suppose. So, you know, I'll let Dermot away with it. He's sort of delusional enough to predict that at the start of the season.
3, by the way.
I sort of fall on Philip's side of things. It's a massive improvement on when we were last season.
And not only the position, the way the football we're playing. Can you honestly say that you enjoyed watching Tottenham over the last couple of seasons? It was like pulling teeth with that anaesthetic.
It's an improvement. It's not a
big
success.
Improvement. It's a huge improvement, Dermot.
It is an improvement. You said it right, Philip. You're agreeing with me. It's not a success.
No, but hang on. And my next sentence is to go from 8th in the league, losing out in Europe, to be on the verge of the Champions League, and you're not saying it's successful. Come on.
So would you say Ange getting to a Champions League final was a successful season?
Ange getting to a Champions League final?
No. Poch getting to a Champions League final.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Would you say
we got into the Champions League is successful? Yeah.
Would you say getting to a League Cup final under Poch was a successful ceiling and finishing runners up? Would you say getting to an FA Cup semi-final was a successful ceiling and losing in the semi-final against Chelsea?
When did we last finish runners up anything? Of course, that was successful. We were second in the league.
That's not winning, Philip.
But it doesn't. No, I mean the Spurs haven't won a trophy since 2008. Right, put that to one side. Right, you're saying becoming second in the league is not being successful.
No, because you're not won it.
So you're saying you have to be first in everything to be successful.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. What happens?
That's my definition of success.
Yeah. The Olympic Games, you get first gold, silver, and bronze. Are you saying the guy that finishes third isn't successful?
No,
he's got his Olympic medal.
He's a loser.
Oh, jeez. Right.
Personally, if I was to receive a bronze medal or a silver medal, I would feel a bit like a loser. But look, at the end of the day, it does come down to whatever your outlook on it and what your definition of success is here. It's like arguing over potato, tomato, to be brutally honest. You know, look, for me, success is winning, being number one. But at the end of the day, you know, it's hard to deny where we've come from. And if we do finish in the Champions League, to argue, you know, compared to what many people sort of thoughts were heading into the season, that it's not successful in terms of if you're looking at it from a realist point of view, saying, well, we were never going to win the league. So from last season to where we finished this season, it is success. But
the reason you're using that same reason, if you're saying you have to be winning to be successful, right? That means the last time Spurs was successful was 1961.
No,
that's the last time we won the league. That's the success. 1961. We've been successful in 1963, 63, 67, 71, 72, 73.
We were successful because we were
81, 91, and 82, and 2008.
And 84.
2008 and 99. So we haven't been successful in the last 16 years.
No, we haven't.
But with a good season. We've
seasons,
compared to the previous season before, it's been successful. Do you think a team that finishes in 17th position in the league this season, avoids relegation by 1 point, they're going to say that's a successful season because they avoided relegation? You know?
Yeah, but
like eighth position last year, and wherever we finish in the top 6 this year, to me, that is success. It's a stepping stone onto better things.
I'm going to get the definition of success to settle this debate between you.
Now, can I just say my bit now? There's an old saying: to finish first you must finish. Right? It's like Lewis Hamilton finished second in the World Championship in the Formula One. Does it class that as a successful season? No, because he hasn't won. Tottenham have been successful when they've won a trophy. We have not.
But technically, Philip might be correct. The definition of success is an aim or a purpose, the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. So if their aim or purpose was to get top four, technically, by the standards they'd set, it would be success. Even though, Dermot, I fall on your side. I do think you have to be first to be successful, but technically, Philip's right.
Thank you, Barrister Harris. I rest my case.
I reckon there was a bit of skullduggery here. I reckon he's brushed your brown envelope.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. But to the definition, Philip's correct.
It's relative to what you did last season, and that's successful.
Yeah, were we successful last season?
No, last season was a fucking disaster.
Exactly.
That's nothing less than that, and nobody can argue with that. But what we've done this season,
let me ask you a question, right? Was it a successful season when Conte took us into the Champions League?
Yes, it was, because we came out of nowhere. We came out of nowhere to get that.
We got there by luck. Because
we didn't get there by luck. We got there by beating the Scum. We got there by beating the Scum 3-0 and beating Norwich 5-0 the last day of the season. That's how we got there.
And we went on a serious run. I think we only dropped two points in 2 games.
So was it a success when we got to a League Cup final when Mourinho got the sack and Mr. Ryan Mason didn't win us that final? Was that
that was a cock up. That was a cock up. That could have been a success, but it was a cock up.
Hang on a minute. You said earlier, right? Getting to a final is a successful season.
No, getting to the final was very good, excellent. It's the way they handled it and the way they sacked the manager 5 days before. That was the cock up. Right?
But getting to a final was successful then.
Yeah, but what happened at the final and the leading up to the final was a complete travesty. It was terrible.
So what you're saying, let me get this right. Yeah, I want to get this spot on because I'm a bit confused here by Mr. Brady, right? Your idea of success is, right, getting to a final, not winning a trophy, but that's a successful season.
No, my vision of success is setting yourself a goal, right? To get to a certain position in the league or getting to a final. Now, whether you win it or not, if you win it, it's a bonus. But if you set your sights on getting it to a certain final and you get there, it's in the lap of the gods what you do in the final. But the fact you got there, 91 other teams didn't make it. You did. That's technically a success, but you might not win the match.
Well, it's an improvement. I'm sticking by
an improvement.
Now,
anyway.
I did say at the start of the season we would finish third. And I did say that in our pre-season show. And it shows I am delusional, as Philip said, as Dave said. So he does count me out on that. Now, Carl says, here's the man to finish all the base. He said, we all said that success is not success, it's an improvement, Carl. Get it right. We'd be getting back into Europe. We are on for that. So good start. Exactly. But
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl.
Carl says, Dermo, Levy will hate you insulting his top 4 requirements. It should be top 1 requirements. Angelo says, how's an English lad supposed to buy a season ticket and pay for dates as well? Philip, you're the elder one out of me and Dave.
Well,
you can answer that question.
Well, it's a long time. It's a long time since I went on a date, so I'll leave the second part of that to the single lads around here. But anyway, how's an English lad supposed to buy a season ticket? Well, you've got to make a choice. It's either you love your football or you love your bird. One of the two, and it's very hard to afford both of them.
Personally, I think you can. I think you should go old school Lothario on it, picnics, stuff like that, reduce the cost of the dates, and stuff like that. That's what I would say.
Go Dutch, go Dutch.
do what I did, and do what I'm trying to do with Mrs. Tron and take it to a game. Then I worked out Per Jam were playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and take it to that instead.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's the only way I'm going to get it to the stadium. Here we go. Carl's getting ready with his popcorn, Philip, because you and me start going at it again.
Well, I'm going to have another fan add into the fan base here because I got a present of a tour of the stadium in April. The one you did, Dave. The stadium tour. Aussie Ardelas. But the missus has come on with me, so she'll be another fan now once we've done that.
Be careful with that. We booked it because it was Aussie Ardelas.
Yeah.
But apparently he didn't know he was down for it, so we ended up with Martin Shivers. I'm not going to complain.
Oh, well,
be careful with that because we were also going thinking it was Aussie Ardelas.
Can I also
Dave,
say
just one question about that before Dave's finished? Where do you actually go into the shop to start? Does the tour start in the shop?
Yes.
Is that where you meet up? Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. Sorry, Dermot, carry on.
Can I also thank Dave for getting me an autographed picture of Mark Shivers as well, which I wasn't expecting. And him and Jack came out, and I was very pleased for that. And I still got that picture up where I work, and I have it there. So thank you. Dave, you know what you've got. I know you were. You're a gentleman. Philip, you know what you got to do that day. You know what Mrs. Brady's up to.
Oh no, I'll be filming the whole thing. So
yeah,
get yourself walking down the tunnel, Philip. It's a really.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's brilliant the way yourself and Jack did it on your.
We might incorporate that into our new intro we're designing. Philip walking out the tunnel. Just have to bring a big poster of me next year.
Well, I'm just going to try and have to persuade the wife not to wear her Arsenal jersey when she goes on the tour. Not that she has one now,
Big up Paul Connor. He says, big up the panel. Didn't realise you guys were live. Where we are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me and Philip are not very good at promotional. So anyone out there with like a little job doing promotional, me and Philip are looking for a promotional guru. Anyway, Carl Simpson says, hey, Dermo, we've got a runners-up medal. Don't care. Finish first. First, you must finish. Remember that, Carl. My motto. 6% is big stuff to all. Hang on. Bring that one out, Philip, would you? I can't get
6% is the big stuff you all. Big stuff you to all the Levy haters by Levy. Yeah, it's not a good PR move at all. It's not a good PR move.
Neil says, big up Neil Shafton. He says, go Monsters. You have your wife and then you have your. What's that, Philip?
Go Mobster. Yeah. You have your wife and then you have your Guma.
Yeah, Guma.
So football is the side chick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Dermo would do the tour. They would have her.
Yes.
Now, can I just say, David Pleat is a proud sponsor of the AA and RAC. Anyone that's me and Philip's age, Dave probably does remember that, or Dave's dad will remember this because Dave wasn't a twinkle in his dad's eye at that point. For going slowly around corners and breaking down and asking young ladies standing there, can they help him with his car?
Actually, I think that was he was ahead of his time there. That happened in Luton, and he was just out scouting for the next Spurs game there in 35 years' time.
For the Spurs women, is that what he was doing?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Look at Dave laughing. Look at them laughing. He's giggling away there, saying Philip used to do that back in the night. No, he didn't. Anyway,
well, Levy's first cruise be around the Greek islands or go to Ibiza in Spain. I'd say it might be around the Bahamas and Joe Lewis's yacht now, to be honest.
Now, look. How do you think we should start next season, guys? Where's your priorities for the summer? And do we need? Was the transfer window successful? Because I think they were. And I'll tell you why I think they were. Because we got rid of the deadwood and we've brought in players where we needed players bought. Now, the job is not finished. We need to improve it. And it does need improving. So, I don't know when to start this one, but I think you can say transfer-wise, it's been a successful season. but you can call the football stuff not a successful season. So where do you go in the transfer side of it? Do you think it has been a successful sort of transfer season for us?
Dave, you go first on that one.
I think it has been. Look, I've always argued under Paratici, that I think his recruitment has been spot on, and that. Look, I think there was a misconception with Paratici. Everyone expected every signing he made to absolutely transform the club, which was never reality. We all know that he has a certain business model that he has to operate off, so it was always going to take time. But what he did do is he came in here. If anyone remembers, when Nuno was in charge, he was in and around the squad, seeing the way they were conducting themselves on match day and training sessions and stuff like that. He smelt rats. He was very quick to sort of get rid of them and slowly start replacing them. Look, I don't need to defend myself on this sort of defender recruitment. In fact, I should be getting apologies. I sort of always has argued that Paratici was good for this football club.
Yeah, no, I think we all agree Paratici is the dawn. I mean, look at the recruitment we've done the last couple of years. Vicario came out of nowhere, but look at him now, right? Destiny Adoji, Papa Sarr, Kulachevsky. We're now going to get Lucas Bergvall in the summer, who is a real find, and we've got this young lad I can never think of his name from Croatia coming in, the centre back.
Oh no, Jaskovic.
Whatever. Yeah. So I mean, the job isn't done. We still need more we need more creative players in midfield, right? And we need another striker. But I think for Ange's first two transfer windows, they've got to be true as a real success, and he's breathed new life into the club. And as Dermot says, and Dave said, got rid of the dead wood that was clogging the place up and thinking the place out. And so I think the future is very. I've always said next season is the one when Spurs are really, really going to be successful.
I like what he's done. I like what Paratici's done. And look, I did have a bit of a wobble. I will admit that. But I've never doubted the magician, the man that Paratici that cooks beautiful Italian meatballs and lasagna and pizzas and spaghetti bolognese. I never doubted the Italian maestro. Had a bit of a wobble, must admit, but I didn't doubt him. So if his ban ends, should Tottenham rehire him? But in what form should they rehire him for? I think they should bring him in as an advisor over the whole transfer system.
Well, he's doing that already, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, but I feel they should make a new role for him at Tottenham.
They don't need to. Why did they need to make a new role? They never filled his role in anyway. People say Johan. People say Johan. Look at his job description compared to Paratici's. Completely different. They've never filled Paratici's position.
They're probably getting Paratici now on a consultancy basis. They're probably not paying him as much as they were when he was employed as whatever he was. So I'd say it suits everybody. He's under the radar. He's still doing his job. And I see now we've reappointed Nathan Gardner as head of sports science, the guy that left to go to Fulham. So there's changes afoot behind the scenes as well. Like Ange has revolutionised this club inside 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And he's not finished yet.
No. Yeah. And we know what he did at Celtic, by the way. And I get talked down a lot when I say that. But you look what he did at Celtic, and you look at Celtic now.
Yeah, they're a shadow of what they were last season.
They're a shadow, and I think we should go for Kyogo myself. I think he'd be a revolution.
He's gone off the boil a bit. He's gone off the boil a bit this season under.
He needs
Ange. Mind you, who wouldn't?
He needs Ange. Carl Simpson says next season get Bird. So Carl next season's going to get a new Bird.
I'll get rid of Stan.
Oh, is that what he said? I thought Carl said he was going to get a new Bird. Anyway, get rid.
Only the wife is too happy, but anyway.
She's not listening. I don't think. If she is, Mrs. Simpson, I very apologise. I hope not. Anyway, this will be going out on Spotify. I'm going to just edit this bit out. Get rid of the rest of the players who cannot pay Ange weight and replace them, and we'll win it all. There you go. Neil Shafton said 3 seasons is what Ange said. Yes, it is. Neil also said it's almost 1.5 years of business that's been done in less than a year. Yeah, absolutely. Big up to Angelo. He says, wasn't Spurs supposed to be in a relegation fight? Now, can I give
Paul Merson?
Yeah. I'm also going to give Mr. Harris a bit of a praise here because he was one in a few, like myself and Philip said Tottenham would finish high in the league. So can I just give Mr. Harris a bit of a round of applause for actually being spot on? So all apologies should be sent to the Irish Hotspur, Dublin GPO, postcode W652ZN, and Just send
On
it
the
there.
back, on the
and
back of
Dave
a
will-
€20 note, preferably.
Yeah, and the back of a €50 note. Dave only
Sorry,
accepts
sorry,
50 or
all right.
100 euros. So there you go. Yeah, and Dave goes up to the UPO once a month to collect his big money there from there. He's still meeting Patrick Pearce up there every week. Find out how.
There's another bit of good news tonight. West Ham
What?
got beat. West Ham
Oh,
got
did
beat.
they?
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
1-0. 1-0 by
I've got a bit of
Freiburg.
breaking news in that. Barney the dinosaur has now been lost in Amsterdam.
No, he's in Germany. He's in Germany.
No,
Yeah,
he got lost in Amsterdam. He never made it to Germany.
All right,
Him and
okay.
Dino, the Arsenal mascot, went into Amsterdam. They haven't been seen since.
Good.
So if anyone sees two dinosaurs walking around Amsterdam red light district, please send them back to their respective clubs. They are missing them. Thank you. Dave's thinking this is the weirdest podcast I've ever been on.
No, I just want to clear something up, Darmo, because there's a lot of confusion around the whole Paratici thing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think Scott Munn was brought in to replace him. He's not. Scott Munn.
I'm confused over that as well, actually. So if you can.
Scott Munn is new chief football officer. So basically what his job is football operations as a whole, which includes the women's team and stuff like that in terms of the business side of things, how to grow that and stuff like that. Then you've got Johan Lang, who came in as technical director. So if the club do decide to hire back Paratici as director of football, it'll ultimately be like what Greta Steinson and Paratici was. Whereas Paratici and Greta Steinson, basically what Johan Lang's role will be, you know, sort of taking a lot of the stupid, silly, menial tasks off Paratici's hands, so he can just focus on the bigger picture.
Oh, I get you.
Right, okay.
I didn't know that, actually, but thank you.
That's very good. It's a good bit of clearing that up anyway. Yeah.
It is, yeah. Maybe raise funds from selling Reglion, Roden, Højbjerg, Hill, Lascelles, Davis. The only one I feel sorry for in there, Højbjerg, yeah, but I think he will go, is Gil Messi. Yeah. I feel for him. He was never given a chance. And suddenly he's out the door. We will miss you. Dave will go into mourning now for the next month now.
He'll go on and shine anywhere, somewhere else, though. Look, Conte killed him. Conte killed him. When he was just getting going, he loaned him out, brought in Dan Juma. Why?
He will always be our Gil Messi. Yeah. Nobody will ever call him anything else. We're the ones who call him Gil Messi. Neil Shafton says VDV has been a huge and Saar is better than expected. Yeah. And she said, name the lap of the gods, Philip.
God knows. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, moving on from that. Paul Connor, what do you guys think we should do with Dombele? I know what Philip Dave would like to do to him, but I'm going to give this to Philip. What Dave wants to do to him is actually not repeatable and not airable. So we just
cat food.
What did you say, Philip?
Just make him into cat food. Just get rid of him. You know, just tear up his contract because I mean he's never ever going to cut it at Spurs. You know, I shouldn't be using cat food and McDonald's in the same sentence, but anyway.
I know I wanted to make this podcast controversial, Philip, but not
no, he's blowing hot and cold in Turkey. It's a good game in 4 bad ones. He's not consistent enough.
He's been useless in Turkey.
We're going to take a huge hit on him. That's the only thing, you know.
Yeah.
Free transfer.
Do you know what? This is what there is something about the reporting on Ndombele that has been winding me up. A lot of people are phrasing it. Oh, he's had this amount of minutes, isn't it great? Go back and look at the amount of minutes that he's had off the bench. Go back and actually look at what the Turkish press are saying about him. You know, the problems that he's caused Galatasaray, the manager, in terms of his fitness and stuff like that. Some of the games that he has played, where that some of them 90 minutes or big minutes has been clocked up, have been against absolutely nobody in the cup competitions. A lot of reporting out there on Ndombele is designed to sort of fluff him up and make him look better than what he is. And I think it's disingenuous towards Spurs fans. Spurs fans really need to know what's going on. Take a deeper dive into it. I do loan reports every week. They're pulling him apart out there. They can't stand him out there. He's not even fit. You know, it's a huge problem, and we ain't going to get cash for him unless Saudi decide to take a gamble on him. And if they don't, we're stuck with him.
They won't buy him. They'll send him back at the end of the season, just like everybody else has done. He's been on loan with.
I tell you, it has done well as Joe Roden actually at Leeds.
The Leeds fans love him. The Leeds fans love him. They really do. Yeah.
Just very quickly, please, everyone, please hit the QR code for our official partner. Let me get the picture up, guys, for you so you can see it in big 3D. Where is it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it, Philip?
Above your
There
head.
we go. There we go. Do you want to give our big our sponsor, our official partner, a bit of a plug there, Mr. Brady?
I've just been asked to clarify that is not Boris Johnson holding the bottle, by the way. Right.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Energy DeGeneres is right. Drinkwraith.com. It's a new energy drink that they're our channel partner. And if you scan that QR code and put in the code THFCTID, you get 10% off your first delivery of their product, be it energy drinks or hoodies or beanies or whatever. And Dermot's is on order. It's coming shortly. And it's the bath water, which we're all fascinated to know. I think he's going to do that, drinking bath water live on TV. Is going to be a real first for YouTube, you know. So that's coming soon. But support those lads because they're supporting us. And the more you get from them, the more they give to us. And everything is happy.
Yeah, it is. I've looked at some of the stuff, Philip. It's great. It's stuff. You should go onto their website, Dave. Some good stuff on there.
It has good stuff on it, actually. Yeah.
They've got lovely hoodies, like for us, that like wearing hoodies and flat caps and.
I can't afford it with the 6% increase.
I know. But Dave, you get 10% off.
Well, I'll take a look.
You get 10% off. So all you're paying is 4% really if you take 6%. You know, you got to look at the logic.
Yeah.
I'll
take a look.
As they say, you know, it makes sense. Anyway, and also next week I will show you I can turn Philip's hands over by not touching them.
You'd have a job. You're 100 miles away from me.
Yeah, hold your hands up, Philip. The other way. See, there you go. Turn them over without touching them. There you go. That was funny and only.
Oh, I fell for that one. Jeez, I fell for that one. It's been a long day.
Anyway, fine. We won't spend too long on this because Dave needs to go and watch Big Brother.
Philip double up tonight.
Yeah, Philip needs to go and speak to Mrs. Brady before she
puts me out in the doghouse for the night.
Yeah, and I need to go and see Mrs. Tron, who's busy shopping on everything. Five things. See, she's busy shopping. I say busy shopping. She looks at me with those two big brown eyes. Look at me like buttermilk melt in the mouth, telling me I'm doing nothing. You can hear ching 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 in the background. And also, this will be uploaded onto our Spotify channel on THFC Till I Die, all one word. Last question, guys. Then we will leave it to next week. Champions League. Now, I've looked into this. I think it's not a disgrace, and I think it's a change too far. I think football now is becoming not football anymore. So, is it a change too far for you, Mr. Brady, who remembers the European Cup, who remembers the old European competitions? Should we go back to the European Cup, UEFA Cup, and Cup Winners' Cup? Go back to what it was and leave it be.
It's never going to happen, I'm afraid. No, I mean, I look at this revamp of the Champions League as becoming the kind of a super, not the Super League, getting into the back door. I saw there was a survey done there. I don't know whether it was the actual clubs or the fans, but 64% were in favour of the Super League. So it is going to come in at some stage. There's no doubt about it. And I think this is probably the first shot across the bows to get it there. And increasing the 36 teams, having a league basis rather than group stages, it's putting extra games on the players. And again, it's players' welfare. It doesn't seem to be considered in the light of we'll make more money out of it. So I'd rather have left it the way it was, to be honest.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? Do you think you're looking forward to the new Champions League next season?
Look, first of all, it's not the first time they've changed the format of the Champions League. I remember a time when they used to have 2 group stages, so they've always sort of changed it up and stuff like that. I think the biggest killer, like I said last week, was taking the away goal roll out of things. I think it sort of, made the Champions League a bit boring and stuff like that. Look, as far as I'm aware, I think the Super League was by being financed by the likes of JP Morgan and people like that. It's a different entity outside of UEFA. I think UEFA have tried to revitalize and reformat the Champions League, hopefully generating a lot more interest back into it in order to try and stop the Super League. So although it looks Super League-esque, I do think they're trying to come up with a format to not allow the Super League to sort of have their way or have their sway with it. Look, I'm excited. I think, you'll see top teams play each other, in this route, whereas sort of that hasn't really happened over the last few years and stuff like that. I'm okay with it. I think it's exciting personally. So that's where I'm at with it.
Do you know one thing, Dave? You just said about the away goals there. The away goals rule being knocked out has effectively made the first leg a kickabout.
Anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous.
There's no passion and no excitement in the first legs anymore.
No. And for me, I think you should go back to the old days. European Cup for the champions, UEFA Cup for the rest of the teams, and Cup Winners' Cup for the champions.
Well, when you think about it, you're in the Champions League, but you finished 5th in the league and you've been classed as a champion,
But we can qualify. If things go our way, we could qualify for the Champions League.
Oh, we could, we could.
Would we be complaining? Hell
no. No, we wouldn't.
Hell no, would we be complaining? Me and Dave, you'd be looking for tickets for the first Champions League game next season.
As long as it's not against AC Milan at home.
No, as long as we don't find... Yeah. I swear to God, Dave, that night, me and Philip are the only two people in the entire world to find two AC Milan fans who weren't Italian. I swear to God, any other person would have picked two Italian fans. No, not me and Philip. No.
And where are you from? Westport.
I looked at Philip and went, he's not. Now, I said to Philip beforehand that this fella might not be able to speak English.
He's from Mayo.
You leave Mayo out of it. We're winning the Euro final this year.
Yeah, you are.
You stick to your literally.
That would be successful now.
Didn't you say to him, Philip, can you speak English?
Can you speak English? Yeah.
I cannot.
Anyway.
Anyway, couple of things, and then we're going to call it a show, not a show. Some might go for shit, but it is a show. Anyway, who are the most passionate fans for Spurs? Americans or Australians, I wonder? I would have to say Australians because of Ozzy Paul.
Yeah. The Americans are good. The Americans are good though as well, Americans are good too.
I think it's just a swing at dick competition. It doesn't need to be had.
See, Dave being diplomatic there. I've never seen Dave being diplomatic in an answer in my life, and he's just been diplomatic.
No, look, I'm not going to say I'm more passionate than others, and I wouldn't say they're more passionate than me. So we all love the club.
Irish fans.
Everyone shows passion in different ways.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Dave was saying Irish fans are more passionate than anyone after, especially when we beat England on the 7th of September. We'll show your passion then. When John O'Shea takes his first match in charge as the island manager.
He won't be in charge. Yes.
I am telling you, I'm going to say it now live on air. John O'Shea will appoint the Irish manager after the 2 pre-season friendlies.
Yeah.
I'll go against you. I don't think he will.
Dave, you with me? I think you agree with me on that.
I'll just look at it. Who can they afford?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Anyway. Philip wants Stephen Kenny back, but there you go.
Carl Simpson. I wish that was the case, my man, that I could charge for cameos. I could. Unfortunately, whenever you see people cameo on each other's channels, they're not getting paid. Don't worry about that.
Me and Philip get paid for the pre-match in donuts, don't we? And we give Philip and Jack M&Ms. So that's how we swap
pink
sweets
ones
with each other. Pink ones. You and your pink ones, you. Big ups. We've got Paul. We've got Neil saying. Here. No, we've got Angelo saying. So a little bit behind. The manager of the year will boast to his squad for Europe next season. Yeah, I think he will manager of the year himself. Though I think Klopp might win it because he's leaving. And did you see the advert for the Man City Liverpool game?
No.
They're playing "We Will Meet Again." I mean, it's a fucking football match. It's not a fucking end of World War II. Jesus Christ. Anyway, and Belly can only play in Turkey or Germany, just like kebab shops in the UK. Either it's Turkey or Germany.
Yeah, no, as long as he doesn't go back to Tottenham. Don't care where he goes.
Philip's favourite person, Eric Trump, holding it upside down.
Yeah, that's true. No, I think it's Boris Johnson. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. Paul Connor says, I think the new format of the Champions League is going to be an exciting few big games in the league. People will make the whole thing more exciting. Can I just say, he looks very dapper in his photo. I have to say, he looks very smart.
A very accomplished man, Paul is.
He does, yeah. He's very dapper, very smart man.
He's a man of luxury.
Yeah, yes. Here's the rug rat. Look at him. He looks like an Italian mobster sitting in there, doesn't he?
The Italian hitman. Mafia
It
hitman.
looks like an Italian hitman. Yeah. Great show, guys. Thank you very much. And Angela goes, Greta who?
That's another conundrum.
Thunberg.
Yeah. Horsey, the sexy man.
Okay. Nice.
Right, on that bombshell.
On that bombshell. Dave, do you want to tell people where they can find you? So I know you don't need any introduction the world over, but anyone who doesn't know about the Irish Hotspur, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me over at the Irish Hotspur if you don't know. I'll take, what is it, Mr. Box Office Line. If you don't know, get to know. You can find me over there. I do lots of different content. I'll be doing an under-21 watch-along for the North London Derby tomorrow. And then Saturday, your channel predictions and your predicted lineup will be out. And then come and join us for the usual game day chaos on Sunday, which I can't wait for.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Look at Dave on the big screen there. Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
He's like accepting his Oscar nomination. Like, thank you very much for winning my Oscar.
I'm just thinking I'm better looking than Brad Pitt, but anyway.
As you can see, the Angel Gabriel has actually shafted Moses and the devil and ended up on top. But Mr. Brady, what can people find out on our little channel as we march on to 2K?
Well, we'll be doing the Grand Prix qualifying tomorrow.
He sounds
4
really
o'clock.
excited.
No, 4 o'clock the Daily Hotspur, 5 o'clock the qualifying for the Formula One Grand Prix. Saturday we'll be doing the predictions, prediction for the Spurs game on Sunday, as well as watching the Grand Prix at 5 o'clock, and we'll be also commenting on the England versus Ireland little matter of rugby game in Twickenham on Saturday as well. Then on Sunday, we're both on Dave's channel in the morning doing the pre-match show, and then we're doing a watch along from 1:30, I think.
And
on Sunday.
Can I
then
happily
they're
state?
doing a debrief with Christian Horner.
Yeah. Can I happily state that me and Philip will be both watching the game this week?
Hopefully.
Well, it's on Sky, so I have got Sky.
Watch it, yeah. Oh, that's right. I had it last week and he didn't, so that was.
And the week before.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Didn't have a game the week before.
I did. I had a VPN. It worked. I got it on food. I paid for
buy the Fire Sticks.
Yeah.
You can't get them in Wexford. They're all banned in Wexford.
Look on the internet. You'll get one, lad.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you can find us. I know Philip's excited about the Formula One. He's just excitement as a rabbit going out in duck season.
I ask this question to Dermot every week before a rugby match. How many points for a conversion?
3.
Dave, how many points for a conversion?
Conversion is after a try. It's 2 points.
Yeah. Good man, Dave. Yeah, right. Dermot, you're wrong again.
I like watching Ireland in rugby. I'll be on the couch watching the Six Nations.
Yeah.
How do I feel a change of sports coming on?
I don't know.
Maybe that's what we'll do next week. Dermot can do his best impersonation of the host, and I'll be on one side, Philip be on the other, and you can ask us questions.
That's it.
I don't think I do bad as a host. Thank you very much, Moses.
I know. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep it up.
No, I'm just pissed off. I have to go and buy another tablet now because you lot broke me other tablet.
Oh,
I can't go back to God and ask him for a refund. He won't give me a refund with the tablet I've got. Now, how am I supposed to read out the 10 Commandments on one tablet? On that blinding bombshell, if you don't see me next week, you know God's put me in the doghouse for a week.
And it's good night from him, and good night from me. Yeah.
And it's a good night for him, good night for me, and good night from the fella above us. Come on,
have a good
see you, lads.
Come on, you Spurs and big
Come on, you Spurs. See you soon. I'm off. See you in the morning, Dermot. See you, Dave.
Where you going?
Huh? Oh, things to do.
He's going to get in trouble.
I'm
I'll
really
stay for 5 more minutes.
I'm on the flipping top.